Can we get the giggles out?
We're out. You ever listen, guys? All you out in the wine and wisdom world, you ever just want to punch a wall as hard as you can? Don't do it. I fucked up my hand. Anyways, this is Tim Hale. This is Wine and Wisdom. This is the internet's most intelligent, wisest, supreme meta brain, galaxy brain show. I'm your host, the Matt Kane, and God, it's been forever, dude. I don't know how long, but it's been too long. So I figured we're digging deep. I'm gonna find a diamond, bring it out, and show it to the world. And here he is. His name is Timothy Hale. Tim, thanks for coming on my podcast. How are you, my friend?
Matt, I am excellent, sir. Thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor because you've had a number of episodes up to this point, and then when you were like, hey, Tim Hale, would you join the Wine and Wisdom crew? And I'm honored.
He answered the call. I love it, baby. Hey, listen, if this is your first time watching and or listening, listen. We appreciate you. Make sure you drop us a like, subscribe on that button. Leave us a review, a rating on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and all the like. All that stuff, guys. We appreciate you. Tell a friend, tell 100 friends, because we believe in the value of the show. And if this is your first time listening, this show is all about getting wise. Duh. Hello. So, it's about what does it mean to be a human being? How can we learn from each other, glean insights from each other, and become wiser, dude? That's what it's all about. Learning from each other, meeting behind the veil, learning what it means to be a human being, and learning from each other. Tim, you got anything to plug, my friend? Like any plug? Because we're getting them out the way right now, so we can get really in. We got a lot to talk about.
Little plugs. Well, I'll tell you what. At the moment, let's see. Well, I've got a few projects coming up. Johnny Woo's Kill World is coming up. It's not out yet. We're actually still in the process of filming, but Johnny Woo's a great guy. He's got Wu Lin, the society, that's making the rounds around the world. Does a lot of great things. I'm out at Mapleside Farms right now doing The Princess and the Pumpkin, as well as hosting the pig races on MSPN, the Barnyard Sports Network. So come out to Mapleside Farms in Brunswick. Have a good time. Grab a few apples. Grab a few donuts. Grab some treats. Treat your family.
Nice.
And in general, I'm a man about town. Just kind of do different things at different times. Happy to be here.
Hell yeah, and I'm happy to have Tim here. I had, listen, man, I've been wanting you on this podcast for a while because you're a beacon. You're a shining light of positivity in this world. Before we get into that, let's talk about our vino here. Let's cheers to that. Very good. We have Dark Horse. Big Red Blend, bada bing, bada boom. Good stuff. Big fan. Mm-hmm. Tim, what's interesting is I feel like, first off, are you a wine fan? Are you a fan of the...
I am, personally.
Okay.
So, I work at an Italian restaurant. Okay. Shout out Nino's in North Ridgeville.
Nino's.
Great place. We make everything except the pasta, and even that is imported from Italy. But all the sauces, yada, yada, yada. Sausage, meatballs, made in-house.
Nice.
They've taught me to love wine. Everything from the reddest of reds to the whitest of whites, and this Dark Horse, we've had Dark Horses there before, and they're not sponsored, but they're just good wines. Yeah. So, thank you for treating me to one.
Yeah, man, anytime, dude. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. I'm glad you're a fan because I feel like a lot of my guests that come on, they're like, it's wine and wisdom, and they're like, I don't want any wine. I'm like, why are you here? I guess for the wisdom, but anyway. So I'm glad that you're here. I did have one guest that was like, she drank my whole bottle. You know who you are. Don't play. But yeah, like just the spirits, and it is like, speaking of spirit season, we're talking about Halloween. Look at this right here. Look at his shirt. Ooh. On his shirt. What do we have here? Oh my God.
Suffering will be legendary, even in hell. Hellraiser, the great Doug Bradley, the great Clive Barker collaborating. Oh, some of my favorite horror movies, Matt, especially installments 1 through 5.
Ooh, okay, okay. What's funny is I've told people this. I'm like, listen, what I think is the most underrated horror movie of all time, Hellraiser, dude. It's awesome. It still holds up. I have such sights to show you. Right?
No tears, please. It's a waste of perfectly good suffering.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's a classic, man. It's a good time. It's a good watch.
It really is. I would tell you, unique mythology, because especially within the first installment of Hellraiser, and they kind of lightened up on it in the later ones, but the first one was all about the ambiguity of it wasn't specifically hell, it wasn't good nor evil. It says angels to some, demons to others. And like, and so many things in the Western, kind of mythology are typically good or evil. These were about the demons of pleasure, to speak.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, I love Hellraiser. Talking about the
gore,
gore, the symbolism, the shirts. Oh, so good. I didn't even wear this intentionally, but I'm glad it worked out for the
hell yeah, man.
season.
It's great. It's an awesome shirt, man. Gotta love me some Pinhead, right? The Cenobites, right? That's what they're called.
Yes, the Cenobites, absolutely. Yes. So just vague, you know, because I mean, I think that's kind of like, as you talk about this podcast, wisdom and wine and wisdom. Not everything is black and white.
No.
Things are gray. And that was initially, movie studios try to shape things into the more general, this is hell.
Yes.
But in general, Clive Barker wrote The Hellbound Heart, which inspired Hellraiser, to be the vague in-between, the just gray areas. And life is gray areas. It's not all in one. It's not one or the other.
That's right.
It's gray areas.
Yeah, there's lots of gray. Not 50 Shades of Gray, but you know what I mean.
Well, it depends on where you're at.
But yeah, no, dude. So yeah, we could talk about Hellraiser all day. We're gonna pivot because guess what?
We're gonna pin it. Was that a?
Oh, God,
he's the man of puns. He's.
How about we'll put a pin in it for later.
Put a pin in that pun.
What I want to talk about? This is a question that usually trips most of my guests up, but it's not gonna trip up Mr. Timmy Boy because he came to play, baby. Who is Tim Hale?
Well, that's a great question because we often want to, identify ourselves by where we work, where we've went to school, where we were born, where we've moved to, yada yada. So I'm going to try to answer that in a different way because that's a question I've been asked on multiple podcast interviews, etc., etc. And where I want to go with it is that I'm an overall positive person, though I will say that my utopia consists of zero negativity, zero evil in the real universe. I want nobody to harm each other, nobody to inflict pain or negativity, but I love it in the fictional realm because I love horror movies. I love dark comedy. I have a dark sense of humor. So, who is Tim Hale? Tim Hale is somebody that wants the best for everybody in real life, but fictionally wants them to go through hell. Because I just write or act in some of the darkest nonsense.
Yeah.
But
that is great nonsense.
But real life, I think everybody should have, a clean, safe, well-supported home, have access to all the resources and food that they need. Everybody should have an equal base to go off of and have the chance to achieve wherever they need to go. But we channel all that negativity and evil and darkness into our media.
Oh, yeah.
Because why should that go away? It should not be mutually exclusive.
No.
No,
absolutely. Like, I completely agree. I feel like, obviously, real violence, I detest it. I deplore it. It's horrible. I abhor it. And I teach, in my self-defense class, I teach people how to not be a victim. Right? So I hate it. I hate violence. I don't want to see it. But fictional violence is cool as shit, right? Mm-hmm. Like in whether it's a John Wick movie or an action movie and just cool shit, like yeah, let's go. Give me that. But in the real world, fuck that. No way. But in your art, that's about expression. And that's what we should see. So you can explore those dark corners of humanity in a safe, right way. Right?
And that's kind of the point, I think, in general. Like, now, people want to argue a lot of times, does violence in the media influence violence in real life? That's a very popular discussion. And I personally believe it's how you're raised. That's how your mindset is. If you're, pardon my words, fucked up, anything that is violent or evil in the media will fuel you.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted Bundy said that the violent pornography he viewed fueled his acts. But you got people like you and I that like horror movies, and that violence has no bearing on our personal character. So it's just all how you interpret things, how you're raised.
I completely agree. It doesn't create you know, the violence. It can enhance it, but like it's not going to create it out of nowhere. So like,
No.
we, you know, so that and that's something like, you know, we could jump off to for maybe on another podcast, is going down that rabbit hole of like, what does it do? But I don't believe in that. One thing I do believe in, and we were talking about this before we were on air, is the law of attraction. You were asking me if I believe in it now. I listen. I do. I completely agree that the energy that you give off, the energy that you put out into the universe, will come back into you. The truths you put out in the universe come back into you. There are a lot of people that they feel like, well, if I act a certain way to try and impress somebody, right, or if I'm trying to get like a mate, if I act this way, it'll impress them. But the problem is you're deceiving yourself. So what you need to do is be your genuine self. Work on yourself, find out what your truths are. Then when you put them out, it'll come back to you. People will be attracted to the truths that you have, right? They'll be attracted to that energy, that positivity, that positive energy you put out into the ether, into the universe will come back to you, because why not be positive?
Absolutely, because, you know, if you start up here and, you know, your day or your life knocks you down, and you end up here, that's one thing.
Yeah.
It's still a mid-ground. But if you're like, and you're down here, it's a lot harder to climb than it is to fall.
Yeah.
It's easier to climb than it is to fall.
Totally, dude. And you know, one of the main reasons I wanted you to have on this podcast, aside from your dashing good looks and your great personality, is you are a beacon of positivity, especially in you know, the film community, the Cleveland film community, right? You're a beacon of positivity, and you're one of the most genuine people I've met in this community. Because here's the thing, no, every community has its issues, especially film communities, especially Cleveland film community. There are a lot of issues. There are a lot of people that are charlatans, that will take advantage of you, that don't have integrity, don't have a moral compass, and they just want to use you and objectify you. And you're here to spread positivity in the world. And damn it, I love that.
Matt, well, likewise. And, you know, you build me up too kindly. So let's just cheers being two beacons.
Two beacons,
one podcast.
And one of the things that I feel like goes hand in hand, like two school children walking to school hand in hand, with positivity, is gratitude. And being grateful for everything you have, dude. Because if you have, you know, clothes on your back, if you have a roof over your head, right? If you have food in your stomach, if you have potable water, dude, or wine. I turned that into water, by the way. Or I turned that into, fuck that up. I turned that into wine. Anyways, you're better off than 98% of the world, dude. Like, what do you really have to complain about?
Absolutely, man. It's all about, you know, going based upon the platform that you are afforded. And, you know, I hope for, you know, I know for us, and I hope for anybody that's out there in the etherverse, that you have the same platform to build off of. And if you're not, you still have the platform of the universe is on your side. Because in general, I believe that the universe is about love. And I think the ultimate goal of the universe is for everything, everybody, every force to exert love and combine and come together. And that's when things will reset and start over and blow up and become a new universe again.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we are super duper lucky. Like, daily affirmations, daily gratitudes are part of my existence. Because I am so fortunate, so lucky.
We are.
You know, I've got the jobs that I work. I've got the potable water, the breathable air, the clothes, the food, the opportunities to be with friends, family. Like, everything's great. And, you know, I can't speak to other people's existences because, fortunately for me, unfortunately for them, I cannot speak to their existences. But hopefully they have some things that they look forward to and appreciate. And any base you have, you can build upon.
Yeah. And
the more you give thanks for, the more you give for attract. Like, in my life, luckily that's been my experience. And I can't speak to everybody's experience, but you're exactly right, Matt. The law of attraction.
Yeah, and like, I do feel like, listen, we're all in this shit together, man. We all should be helping each other out. And the goal, I think the goal of each human being is to help each other and end suffering, dude. Just let Ram Dass, he you know, one of my favorite quotes is we're all just walking each other home, dude. How beautiful is that? Yes. We're all just trying to help each other out, man.
Yes.
You know?
And Jack Cornfield,
Yeah.
he had said that, I can't remember the exact quote, pardon me, but it was, care about the part of the garden that you can touch. That's not the exact quote. I will tell you that right now. Tim Hale's a man of mixed mass quotes. But in general, care about the part of the garden that you can touch is absolutely true. Because everything's spiderwebs.
Yeah.
The effect that you have on somebody has the effect that they have on all of their people, and so on and so forth. It just goes on that way.
Totally. And I'm glad you mentioned Jack Cornfield. I'm a big fan. I got a couple of his books over there. But like if you want to see change, you want to help the world, man, it starts right here. And then that light that exudes from you impacts other people in ways that you have no idea. One of my tenets from a teaching standpoint is if I can make at least one person smile today, man, I've done a good job. And remember, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel, right? So try to help each other out, make them feel better, like help reduce the suffering in the world. It's really that simple. But damn, do we make it hard. Damn, when ego and greed and all that stuff gets in the way, man, then we're not getting the Tim Hale Utopia. Because like Jimi Hendrix said, right? When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace, my friend.
Yes, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
That's right.
That's the thing, too. And listen, it can definitely get that way because you see so many people that start out with pure intentions, and then they get money, they get power, they get whatever it is they've desired in life. And then suddenly along the way, it grasps you into a sphere of consumption.
Yes.
It grasps you into a sphere of, just keeping. You want to keep what you have. And listen, it's so hard to think, like, how can I have what I want as well as everybody else having it, but is well possible.
Yes.
Because we live ultimately in a universe of abundance. That's what it comes down to. Abundance, energy is matter. And energy is infinite, therefore matter is infinite. But it's so hard to think in those terms, But it is definitely there. We are all free to take as much as we want, and we're all free to have as much as we want. But we get adopted into this scarcity mindset built upon, previous tenets built upon in worlds and societies past. We thought there's only so much for so many buddies.
Dude, and that's it. And I think a lot of that is based on fear. Because when you're afraid, when you live in a world of fear that you're going to lose what you have or that you don't have enough, you cling, you hold on to what you have, and you want more. But when you come from a place of love and being whole, you realize you have enough. And not only that, when you are more, you need less in the world. Right? When you have, it's like you're having convulsions. Like when you
positive convulsions, how about it?
Positivity's running wild, dude.
It is.
But yeah, like when you have peace inside, man, you don't need as much shit. You don't need as much stuff. And like you said, we have so much in the world to go around. But the problem is because people have fear or they're searching for like wholeness in their life, they think by having this next bite, this next thing will do it. By holding on to this, because I don't know when I'm going to get it again, I want to hold on, and I need more and more to make me feel happy. When it's such a fallacy, man, and it's sad to see.
Well, that comes upon values, right?
Yeah.
Like, we all have different values of what will build us whole, what will complete us, what is the thing we need to be happy. And I will argue this on the opposite side of the spectrum. I will play the devil's advocate that contentment can be the death of desire.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I just want everybody to have everything. And within your own life, you can possibly have more. And if you're just so happy in one place, you will not strive for anything more. And like, where is the line?
Yeah.
The line is... it's variable. But in general, how can we make everybody have everything?
Mm-hmm. I'll say this: like I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur, and I am hungrier than I've ever been to like just destroy in terms of like to build my business, to to help as many people as possible with my business, to make a killing, to just do it, right? Make money, right? But at the same time, this I think is one of the keys to signs of like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, high consciousness or high intelligence, is can you have two conflicting opinions exist simultaneously in your mind? So, number one, yes, I'm a fucking killer, baby. I'm going after it, getting it done. Right, well, you need a thumbnail. Mark it down. 20 minutes, 24 seconds. But but on the flip side, I am at peace. I am more content and happier and more grateful than I've ever been. Right? How can I have both of those exist simultaneously within me?
Oh man,
Go ahead.
I'm so excited that you said that because, there's one side is tend to be demonized by the other.
Yes.
You either have to have all or nothing, and
Yeah.
I do believe in equilibrium. I believe in utopia, and I believe in that. Like, so often, especially today's politically, people argue capitalism, which is all or nothing, and then you have socialism, which is everybody has everything.
Yeah.
And well, now I may not be defining those terms correctly because I'm not a sociologist. I'm not a political science major, but that's just my general understanding. And when it comes down to that, I do believe there's an equilibrium because there's a happy medium to everything. No matter what it is, there's a happy medium.
Yes.
But I guess that's where you come into the conflict, is what is the happy medium conceived by both sides. And I think that's where public discussion, public debate comes into standard. But I do believe everybody should have an equal playing field, regardless.
Yeah.
Because, capitalism is all about, working hard and do what you can to achieve what you can achieve. And that's true. But in capitalism also, everybody does not have an equal playing field.
That's right.
And I believe in the equal playing field because if you have everybody here, that's like a race, right? If you're running a marathon or a sprint, everybody starts from the same line. They all overcome the same hurdles. And now we are not in a society where everybody overcomes the same hurdles. So how do we get to a place where everybody starts from the same start line, overcomes the same hurdles, and can achieve the same things? I do believe it's possible. It just takes work and it takes effort. And listen, Matt, as negative as things in the world can be, I do believe in general we're all moving generally in a positive level. It's slow, it's steady.
Listen,
but hey, the turtle and the hare, slow and steady wins the race. We are getting there.
I agree, and I think that even though it doesn't seem like it, the needle is getting pushed forward. Think about this, dude. How many years ago was it where gay marriage wasn't even a thing, right? Think about like all the things that how far we're getting pushed. Like women get more rights now. There's more equality when it comes to jobs, when it comes to, obviously there's big racial tensions like last year and last couple of years, but think about like more equality that's going on in the world. So yes, there's still so much fucking work to be done. And I think forever till humans, right. But
until it's perfect, it won't be perfect.
That's right. But we're getting there a little bit at a time. Yes, 1 foot at a time with the tortoise, but it's getting there. Let's shift gears completely, baby, because I want to talk about the genesis of our relationship. And we met on a movie set. I don't know which one. We met on a film set. I have no idea.
So many. It's multiple.
You're right.
That's where I'm lucky, is I've known Matt Cain for quite a few movie sets, quite a few years.
What is it about acting? What is it about filmmaking that just like does it for you, man?
Well, for one, fun. Two, I won't move on to two. I said two too quickly. For one, fun. Because part of the Tim Hale Utopia is fun. I think every job should be the perfect genesis of progress, work done, and fun. Hi-ho, we off to work we go. That should be the utopia. And then two, as far as film goes, I've always enjoyed in films the imagination, the construction of an alternate reality, the being able to be other people and learning about experiences other than your own.
Yeah.
Like, we're all born into one place, one type of family, one type of society, yada yada. As you act, that lets you learn about, whether you're playing the lightest characters or the darkest characters, you are learning about a different life, a different existence. It requires you to do research. And really, the point of life is to learn.
Yeah.
So, that is so amazing to be able to be learned. That's my great grammar and knowledge. After a few bottles of, not a few bottles. There's one bottle of Dark
Just a couple
Horse.
glasses, folks.
Just a couple glasses. Tim Hale's I'm not a scientist. I'm an actor.
Well,
I'm not a mathematician.
Yeah, it's interesting you mention that because a quote from that legendary thespian Brad Pitt. He said the reason he loved acting is because every time he played a new character, it was a portal into another world that he could never get into except for through acting. And you put on that face and you become that character and you tell that story. It's a beautiful thing, man. How can you get that? You can't. How can you become a detective like in the movie Seven, or you become Achilles in Troy, right? And everything in between.
Or
a stoner in True Romance, right?
Yes. Or what's his face in Interview with a Vampire?
Yeah, exactly.
Now let me ask you, Matt. You having the long hair, you could play a magnificent vampire should you choose. How do you imagine multiple lifetimes, multiple centuries? Just hit me on that because you have not played a vampire yet. To my knowledge, I'm not knowledgeable of everything, but you should play a vampire. It's to my knowledge.
Okay. Interesting. There's been a few projects that have gone belly up that I was supposed to play a vampire in. Also, when I'm back in my old pro wrestling days, way back when, my character, if you've seen the movie Queen of the Damned.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What was
Akasha and Stuart Townsend.
Yeah. What was the name of Stuart Townsend? It's Lestat or
Lestat. Yes.
That's what my wrestling character was based on, right? It was just like that kind of vibe, that kind of feel. So that was my energy. And then I also played in a short. I played in a similar vein, a kind of fallen angel, right? But he would like seduce women and stuff. So So if you're out there. I'm still itching for that. I guess
he's
summary,
still itching to seduce women. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's a good guy.
In summary, I would like to be a vampire in something. That would be awesome. Let the hair down, just go in.
Hair down, fangs out.
Hey, I'm right here. You need my headshot? Hit me up.
And likewise, Matt and I could play two different vampires. He can play the modern vampire. I can play the more Bela Lugosi type.
That's right. There you go. Yeah, dude. So yeah, that's what's in a similar vein. That's what's drawn me to acting and filmmaking as well, being able to tell those stories, play those characters, and express yourself, man. Mm-hmm. It's really is a beautiful thing. Your Facebook says you're a spiritualist and hedonist, mm-hmm. and a social Mothman. Care to elaborate, my friend?
Absolutely would. Because I'll tell you what. My spiritual beliefs are varied and all and in between and yada yada, but I do believe in trying to be the most heady and spiritual and most out there you can. But I do believe we were put upon this physical plane, this third dimensional plane, for a reason. So I think enjoy the most physical pleasures that you can.
There you go.
But at the same time, be aware that this is not all that we have.
Yeah. I
do believe there are multiple levels to be explored in the aether and beyond. And I don't know. I don't think it's exclusive. I don't think it's all here or all there. It's everything. Existence is everything. And then as far as a social Mothman, that was a gift given to me by a dear good actor friend of mine, Samantha Seawolf. Shout Samantha Seawolf. She's out doing her MFA right now. She's a brilliant actor.
Wow, very nice.
But yeah, she called me a social Mothman once, and I just love that because I love the Mothman as a cryptozoological character.
Yeah.
But that's kind of me, because that's sort of a pun on being a social butterfly. And I mean, Matt, you've seen me at social events. I don't stay anywhere too long. I kind of bounce around, boop, ba da boop, ba da boop, ba da boop. Yeah,
like a fucking moth. You're right, dude.
Yeah,
You go to the light, but you also go to the light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's clicking.
Exactly. So I'm not a social butterfly because of the darkness. I'm a social mothman. So that's where all that comes into play. And being a spiritualist and a hedonist, I believe existence is everything. It's not all or one. I think we're meant to embrace everything that our insides and outsides are.
Love it, man. Dude, I agree. I definitely feel like there are multiple planes of reality. And we just happen to be like in this physical plane. But there are so many different channels that you can possibly tune into. Right? And yeah, like exploring those. Now, not getting lost in each plane.
Right.
But
you have
honoring,
to fully experience whichever plane you're in.
Exactly.
We have the physical, we have the etheric, we have the souls.
Yeah. And honor that plane. Honor that plane fully. Without clinging to it, without pushing it away.
And I love that you say honor that plane, because one of my core tenets of just being a person is to be in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but I've had some interdimensional experiences by many different ways, depending on what you're into.
Yeah.
But I do believe in being fully in the moment, whether I'm conversing. Like, if I'm going to converse with you at a film event, I'm going to fully converse with Matt Kane. If somebody else comes up and wants to talk to us, we'll say, hey, but we have to fully engage each other in whatever conversation we're in and then bring them into it, yada, yada. Now, if you're in an interdimensional conversation, you have to be fully engaged with that, because if you think of past or present or future, that's going to offend whoever you're with, because you're not fully engaged. You have to be fully engaged with wherever you are. You
have to be here now. And when
Ram Dass, that's a Ram
Dass.
Good man.
So, and what that means, because some people are like, well, a couple things on this. Number one, think about how many people are not here now. Think about how many people, like, you're talking and they're not listening. You can just tell. They're thinking about, oh, I got to do the laundry. Oh, what's for dinner? Oh, all this bullshit. Oh, I want to sleep with him. Or, oh, what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like all those different things going on, but and that's what I love about this show is, and also, sometimes I'll be on my phone, but that's just notes for the discussion, to enhance it.
Yes.
But the point is, this show lets me be here now. It lets me grok and really feel a conversation with another human being that I can't really. I try to get outside of it. It's hard. Like, we're all fucking busy. We all got stuff going on. Sometimes you engage with somebody, it's in and out. Like, you're not really going to be listening. You just need to get what you want from them and move on. But those times, listen, dude, some of the best times of my life have been with just sitting down with another human being, and I'm here, you're here, we're here together. That right there, you can learn so much, and there's just like so much beautiful stuff, beautiful shit that you can experience when you're just sitting there being present with another human being, right? It's amazing. And how rare is it nowadays, man? Because most people, they can't turn off the noise, the chatter in their head, and just listen.
Now, absolutely, Matt, because, especially with these phones, I've called people phone drones, because, and listen, I've been a phone drone. I am a phone drone at times. You get a bleep, it's like, it's my person, or it's somebody else. Oh, I want you to, I'll be on Matt Kane's podcast, and somebody will hit me up, I want you to be on this podcast. Cod It's a cod pass.
That gone.
Forget that cod pass. I'm on the podcast.
That's right.
And it is really... distraction is a big part of our lives. If our lives were not busy enough, they're made further busy by these things.
Dude.
I cannot tell anybody how to live their lives.
Right.
It's not my place. But phone drones are a thing.
Yep.
And as we sit here now, it's really great, like you said, to engage in a fully immersed conversation.
Yeah.
It's so, like meditation. That's what I was really kind of trying to get to.
Yeah,
As
get to
I got
it.
distracted by the phone drone,
Get
even
to it,
being
baby.
that far away, it's boom. I literally threw it on the couch over there. It will distract you. But meditation is such a thing because I'm not even trying to be heady or be above anybody. It's not about that. It's just learning about to be present with your
Yes.
own breath.
Yep.
Whenever you get distracted, go back to your own breath. Let's take a minute, Matt. Yeah.
And then you're back, and you feel so much calm.
Yes.
Ah, it's the best.
And now, so me, on myself, I'll start off this conversation. I am irregular on my meditation at best.
Every day?
Yeah, not every day. It's sometimes it's every day, sometimes it's every other day. It kind of depends when it occurs to me. Mostly with the gratitude thing you had spoke about earlier. But just learning to be present and just take a moment is awesome. Now, how about you? Are you on the everyday train?
I am.
Good
now,
man.
Now, I can't say that it's since I started meditating that it's been 100%. There's just no that's
It's difficult.
It's
It
tough.
is very. The life trains us to be so
Right.
distracted that it's hard to be there
And
every
that's all-
day
and
to
that's all
carve out. Exactly. It's all right. Listen, folks. The more you don't is better than the time. Or I'm sorry. The more that you do is better than the time you don't.
That's right. So I would say I meditate almost every day of the week. Almost. Is it always like I usually strive for 20 minutes?
Nice. Good man.
Do I always get that? No. I try to. You make it a priority. Just like anything in life, you make it a priority. If it's important
make
to you,
time.
you make it a priority. And because I know the power of it, I've been meditating consistently. So let's see, the last 8 years I've been doing it.
Wow.
And yeah, I actually got my dad involved in meditation, and right around the time he started meditating. Because my dad was, and he's been on the podcast, episode 7. Check it out in the archives. It's one of the best ones. It's really good. Lots of tears were shed. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time. So, because my dad was for a long time alcoholic and was addicted to pain pills, right? So, right around this time he started meditating is when he got sober, and he said that meditation was pretty much a direct influence on him getting sober. The ability to meditate is what helped him get through that shit, get through the stuff in his mind, right? So yeah, so the power of meditation is something that we all do, and it doesn't have to be. The problem is we narrowly define meditation as like
we narrowly define everything. It's it's often all or nothing.
Right. No, that's not what meditation is. Even if you just you can meditate. There are so many different forms of meditation. Yoga is a form of meditation.
Yes.
Working out can be a form of
Yes.
meditation. Sitting, yes, legs crossed, focusing on your breathing is a form of meditation. Reading can be a meditation.
Yes.
The bottom line is you have to find something that helps you pull back from being in the story and being more of a witness to the story and being able to look at it and kind of transcend time for that moment and be able to see your thoughts instead of getting, because a lot of times people will say they negatively think that meditation is about blocking out all thoughts. What the hell? Good luck with. I'm gonna tell you. Good luck with that.
Right on, man. You will never escape your thoughts because guess what? They're in here.
A mind has a mind of its own. So what happens is instead of blocking out thoughts, is you look at the thought. Damn, look at I think even Jack Cornfield talked about this. It's like you're jumping on a train and you go down and you jump off. You realize, oh crap, why did I get on this train? You jump off at the next exit, right? So, and that's all right. You see the thought, you see it create itself from origin to endpoint in time, and then you can wave by to it like a cloud going in the sky. And then over time, what happens is you tend to have less of those moments. And they're not as long. You're still going to have them. Thoughts are going to just think themselves. You're going to be like...
Thoughts are consuming. I mean, we are part of our brains. We are part of our... I mean, energy. Souls are energy. And matter, bodies, is energy really slowed down. So it's hard to separate the two. But you're exactly right, Matt. They will occur, but they will get less and less the more you focus on concentration.
Yeah, and building and listen, guys, find something that works, even if it's like 5 minutes a day.
Yes, whatever works.
It will
There's no right or wrong way. There's only the way.
Oh, there you go. There's only the Tao and being in it. And if you're like, yeah, if you find it 5 minutes too tough, okay, go to 3 minutes.
Yes.
Find something that's sustainable, and you will see the value of it. Yeah, like having a good practice. That's everything, man. Whether it's whatever, and we talked about this on the podcast a lot. Like having a spiritual practice in general, like not just being like, well, I go to church, but does that really make it a spiritual practice? And we could talk about that all day and every day. And I've talked about the different methods of spiritual practice and all that stuff. You find something that works for you.
Yes.
I'm not here to
different strokes for different.
There you
folks.
go. It's like it's the analogy of you're trying to go from one island to the next, right? And you jump in your boat and you get rowing. Well, people they confuse the boat with the shore, with the other end of the shore, right? And they'll be like, "Hey, your boat doesn't look like mine, and it's not as good as mine, not as fast as mine, but it's still going to get me to the other shore, my friend."
And that's the beauty is that it is not about the shore; it is about the boat.
It's about
because I don't know if you've gotten into theosophy at all.
A little bit, yeah.
So theosophy kind of discusses that, the concept of hell, right? And people. It doesn't matter what you believe, don't believe. To each their own. Who cares? Whatever works for you. But, in general, in the afterlife, whatever you believe is the thing. And therefore, if you believe you are doomed to a period of suffering, you will be encumbered in a period of suffering. But, if you're believed in a period of evolution, which... as humans, as beings, as whatever, we're all just moving along. We're all just climbing. And that does not stop at, once we've left this physical body. It's all about
that's right.
Just continuing to climb. So just believe yourself in a positive expansion, a positive ladder climbing. And you're not doomed to anything. You're only doomed to what you believe yourself to. And that's as the life perspective as well. Yeah. Because like we've talked about with the negative or positive perspectives, whatever you believe is what you draw yourself to. And we're all capable of anything that we believe ourselves to be or not to be.
Yeah, and absolutely. And we were mentioning what you mentioned earlier is life is all about like learning. It's all about growing. Looking at are you familiar with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross?
I'm not.
So she wrote a really rousing book called On Death and Dying, right? It's a really good book. She was basically a palliative care doctor. She would go to, she basically would go to people that were dying, stayed with them, and then help them die, help them transition. So she estimated she was with over 10,000 people that passed on, right? And what she said in her books on death and dying, and it's a great book, you should check it out when you get a chance. It's amazing. She said that there is no such thing in life as negativity. That everything that comes into you, again, it's a matter of perspective and relative perspective. She said everything that comes into you is positivity because it's here to help you grow. It's here to help you learn. The worst suffering in the world is here to help you grow. Mm-hmm. Is here to help you become a better version of yourself.
Yes.
What Ram Dass called the grist for the mill. It's all just shit. It's the curriculum of life that you should take, right, to get better, to improve, to whatever that means.
Yes. But it's relative.
But use that negativity, that suffering, and you understand that like it could be the worst suffering in the world, the most stinky, crappiest suffering. Check out the episode on suffering in the archives, and use it and understand how perfect it could be. Which is like it's such an oxymoron: suffering and perfection. Wait, what?
Yeah, no, but see now, Matt, you were talking the exact truths to where we can all transform anything we're experiencing into another. It's all about transformation. It's all about there's a word that I can't think of, but it's meta transformation. Yeah. That's what I'm going to use for now.
I like it.
Meta transformation, but you're right, because anything is Transmutation.
Transmutation.
That's the word.
There you go.
Transmutation is the word that I seek. Anything that you take in can be transformed because energy is never created nor destroyed. It is only transformed.
Yep.
Therefore, heat into light,
That's right.
light into heat, sound into motion, so on and so forth. And of what you speak of her teachings, you're absolutely right. It's life in general is what you make of it.
Yeah.
And now it's not always easy. Let's be clear, folks. It is not always easy. Actually,
right.
therefore, it is often not easy. But you are capable of anything that you believe. Matt, that's a lot of fingers. That's E.T. phone home. Yeah,
You are, dude.
Yes.
You're so. Okay, you're so right. Energy, man. And that, I feel like that should be the subtitle of this podcast is energy because it's what it is. It's really what it is. And but if the problem is societally, culturally, we don't view suffering. We push it away. We don't the negative aspects of life, death, for instance. Don't want to see it. Push it away. Get it away from us.
Nope.
But it's one of those things when you embrace that's truth. When you embrace the truth,
it's just another level.
Yeah.
It's not the end all. It's just the somewhat of all. You
Yeah.
Boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom.
Yep. So when you embrace the suffering, when you embrace the negative aspects of life, then you can be a full human being. You can take that energy, use it to work with you. It's your work. It's your spirit. It's your spiritual journey to work with. Take all that work, and it's that's the term I can remember. It's what they call in Hinduism your sadhana, right? Your spiritual work. So life is your spiritual work. People think like just going to church is your whatever. Our culture that is thinks that going to church is your spiritual work, dude. It's everything. It's in everything and everything that you do.
It's in the after also. The kama loka is which is also discussed, and you do work in the kama loka as well as you do in the physical life that we all know. The kama loka, you may work out whatever beliefs you've had in physical life because you have the physical body, you have the etherical body, and then you have your spiritual bodies. You have higher spiritual bodies. Like it's all depending on what you believe, and overall, that's up to you. And there's no harm, there's no good. But, just in general, know that you are never stopped. You are never stopped at any one point of the journey. You can always do better, whether it's within this physical life, your kama loka, after death life, your etherical life.
Yep.
You can always improve.
That's right.
There's never an ending point. There's never I've ruined it all for myself. No. There's always a chance to improve because positive energy in general, always is going. It doesn't stop. That's the beautiful thing.
It's beautiful, just like him. You want to spin the wheel?
Yeah, I want to spin a wheel.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, I want to pour a glass before I spin a wheel.
Okay, let's see if I can pull this up in a timely manner here.
Do you need to fill up or are you good?
I'm good for now, my friend. Where is my wheel here? Tell me a joke while I find it.
How do you have a party in space?
I don't know.
You plan it.
God, I feel like I should have known that one. Oh, I gotta download this again. Oh, well, you got another one.
Yeah, I've got plenty. Let's see. How did the Scarecrow get a promotion? He was outstanding in his field.
Oh God!
Little fall fun for you.
I like that. All right, I think we got it. Oh, don't tell me this is. Hold on.
Oh.
Ask app not to
Well,
try.
in the meantime,
hopefully it's saved. I didn't create. Oh no! Do I have to? Let me see if I have to create my wheel again. Give me one more.
All right.
Why was Dracula? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I was just gonna say we're live here, baby.
We're live. Why was Dracula's wife up all day? He kept it awake with his coffin.
That's good. So maybe I might not. I got so excited to spin the wheel. We might have to create it again here. Give me a second. I have it saved, but
well, that's a good philosophical lesson for you because you can always recreate the wheel.
Damn it! I got to recreate the wheel. I think. Hold
Matt's
on.
gonna recreate the wheel.
No, I don't. I got it. I got it. Here we go, folks.
Going. There's another philosophical
I just had to do
lesson.
this. I'm an idiot.
He's not an idiot.
Well, I'm dumb when it comes to this.
But he's not dumb.
Here we go.
And you can always recreate.
All right.
The wheel always exists.
So here we go. Here it is, folks. This is called the Wheel of Wisdom. I know you can't really see it, but we have 25 or so different topics. Tim, tap the center. We're going to talk about whatever topic it lands on.
Good
and
evening,
it
Larry.
is ego. Let's get
good
into
topic
it.
for Tim Hale
Ego.
because I often get lost in the ego sauce.
So
This is
into it.
wow. The universe works in divine and
Yeah,
mysterious and wonderful ways. I cannot wait. How do we go about this, Matt?
Whatever comes to mind with ego, let it rip.
Well, I'll tell you what. The ego. Listen. You and I being performers. Let's speak to it from a performer's perspective.
Let's do
because
that.
It is very
I love
important
it.
to the performer. We have to have a healthy amount of not of it, but also a healthy amount of it, because you have to have a healthy amount of not of it, because you cannot get too above believing I'm too good to do this, I'm not good enough to do that, yada, yada, yada. But you have to have a healthy amount of ego to believe that, you know what, I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm Matt Cain, I kick ass, I'm a good actor, I do some good stunts, I can fight. So you know what, the ego, I think every person, no matter what you're, an artist, a performer, a not performer, yada, 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 whatever you are, you need to have a healthy amount of knowing I can do this, and I am also knowing I cannot do this. But overall, I can do this. That's my perspective.
I love
Hit
it.
me.
I love it. Well, you have to become somebody in order to become nobody. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
So meaning you have to have a strong sense of ego in the Western tradition of yes, you need to be somebody. But here's the problem. We worship the ego. Oh, ego. Oh, baby, come here. We worship it's everything. Think about it. It's I need to make a name for myself, right? I need to be somebody. I need it's all I, me.
Especially in the entertainment industry.
Especially.
It's all about the I, me, I'm the best. Blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah.
And what's interesting, on that, there's a couple people I met in the film industry just of late in the community that were you're not who I thought you were when they actually got to know me, right? They thought I was this narcissistic, egomaniacal, self-absorbed. I only portray that, in a media sense. That's not really who I am, right? So because I had someone, she told me straight up, she's like, wow, I thought you were you're not intimidating. I thought you'd be intimidating. I thought you'd be this persona, this, oh yeah, look at me.
Just because he's ripped, just because he's skilled in martial arts, just because he's skilled in acting, doesn't believe he's all that in the bag of chips.
Yeah, the Matt Cain. That is my Instagram handle, the Matt Cain, and I am shirtless a lot and I flex a lot and it's almost all just me. But the point is, if you really get to know me, think about how we have projections of humans that we've never even met. And you're like, wow, this is who this person is in your mind. You throw this mind net out and catches them. I gotcha, right? I gotcha. But when you really come to meet somebody, you're like, well, they really aren't like that. And projections of people that they give out to you, they throw that mind net at you. It doesn't mean anything unless you get caught in it, right? So I guess to bring it back to the ego is people that truly know me in my life, people that truly know me and get to know me, know that I don't really have much of an ego. Now we have to develop. I could.
You could. Listen, he's ripped. He's skilled in fighting. He's a great actor. He could easily be like, "Oh, I'm Matt Cain, yabba dabba da hooba da wah." But you know what? He's never
Well,
been that way
no.
towards me, and I've known him 5-6 years now.
Yeah,
Like,
easy. Well, that's the thing is like, yes, we all have an ego. We all need it.
we need it.
We need
you
to-
will die without it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
You have to eat.
You will die
Yeah,
without it.
right.
If
You have to
listen,
feed it.
You all have to believe you have something about me. By me, I mean you, and you do have something about you because we are all special. Go on, Matt.
No, and this guy's really special. But yeah, the key is to transcend the ego. To have a good strong ego,
Yes,
and
yes.
then smack that bitch and be like, "Listen, motherfucker.
I'm not the be all end all.
No, you ain't. It is not your ego is not your amigo. It can
Your ego is not your amigo. That is awesome.
it can be your friend, but the problem is the way we treat the ego is we let it consume us and take us over, man.
Healthy balance.
Healthy balance.
Anything where
That's right.
No matter what, a healthy balance. Everything is good in moderation.
Yeah. You have to develop that strong base level of what we in the West call the ego in order to realize, like, hey, it really isn't all that. Like, it's important to keep me alive, to sustain, to be ambitious and all that, but I don't need it to crash into people, and I don't need my ego to take advantage of others and turn them into objects, right?
And that's where often comes in is because, you could believe yourself to be too big, and then, you are, I am this, I am that, I can take you there, I can take myself that. You have to believe in general in a healthy amount of ego that, you know what, I can take myself to where I want to be, and I can take others to where,
Yep.
like we were discussing earlier, that everybody should have a equal base of yada, yada, yada. We can believe that, but the acceleratory levels is where it gets dangerous.
Exactly. When you go too far with it, when you get too high in it, the ego and the rational analytical mind, if you kind of squish them together, I know that's a bit much, but they're good servants but really bad masters, right?
Matt, you said some very important words just now. Knowing who are your servants, who are your masters. And I feel like meditation really, for me personally, has helped balance that in between. We're knowing that you are all and you are some.
Yes.
And you are none.
And you are nothing.
Like, exactly. It is just, you are this floating balance of ether in between.
Yeah. So finding that balance in everything, it's important. And I think we all, if you can find that balance, if you can find what is that point, what is that tipping point, where do I need to push, where do I need to pull, right? That is everything, man. And if we all did that a little bit more, and we had a little more introspection, like you were talking about, a little more humility, lots more gratitude, some self-awareness mixed in, you sprinkle all that together, man. I think this world would be a groovier place, and we would be closer to getting to Tim Hale's Utopia.
Oh, don't build me up. Because he's talking about ego, but the more nonsense he says, that's going to build up the Tim Hale ego. And I spent a fair amount of time knocking myself down and not, and listen, within your own life, this applies to a Tim Hale thing, this applies to a you thing. Knowing where to build your strengths up and listen, here's the key to ego. All right, Matt Kane, here we are. Here's the key. Knowing where your strengths lie, knowing where your weaknesses lie, and keep your strengths and not knock yourself down, but know where your weaknesses are and recognize them. And don't dig deep on your weaknesses. Don't fucking shit, pardon my French. I don't know if you're
shit, damn.
Pot shit, damn. Don't knock yourself down on your weaknesses, but know where they are and say, hey, this is where I lack, and I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to recognize this. I'm going to be here. Just be here. Ram Dass. We've talked about Ram Dass multiple times. Ram Dass is that's our guy.
Yeah.
Recognize where your weaknesses are and sit with them and say, hey, how can these weaknesses benefit me in terms of keeping me not above everybody else? Because in general, we are all created equal, spiritually, physically. That's a new word, physically.
Physical.
You're physical. I'm physical. Matt's physical. Lock horns with me. Physical. Ow!
Devil horns.
Devil horns. Devils are not always bad. In the terms of Tim Hale ways. In terms of whoever the fuck you know, they could be bad.
That could be bad. Yeah.
They could be bad. But listen, not here.
That's right.
Because I'm about the positive and not about the negative. But anyways, we're getting off track.
Nah, dude. You know, Tim. God.
Keep knowledge of where you are beneficially, positively. Keep knowledge of where you are negatively, and know how, hey, where can this benefit me to know where I am in not a good place, and what can I benefit from learning from those negative places. Build them up, and then improve. That's all it is. We are capable. Listen, at any point of birth, Matt, whether we are born with all the tools we need, and we just need to know how to sharpen those tools. Some are more sharpened than others, but just know where you need to improve and where you are, and you'll be okay.
That's right. And help others.
Help
as you
others.
go along. Listen, when we're all walking along, and one of us trips and falls, and is falling behind.
Oh, Matt, help me.
Tripping and Matt. Falling behind. We all walk a little slower to help them out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. God, this was like one of my most fun episodes ever, Tim. Holy shit!
No need to build me up. Don't want to build.
I had a lot
ego.
of fun, dude. And I want to live in that Tim Hale utopia. I want to live in that world where you are ruling with your ego above us all.
Let's
I
all
am.
rule. Let's all rule. That's the goal.
All
rule with all positivity.
That's right.
No,
we all want to get to that. We all want to be in that Tim Hale utopia, meaning being free from yourself ultimately, right? Being free. And dude, what the energy, man. That's what we had. And I'm glad you brought it. Cuz I'm not going to lie, man. This is one of my favorite episodes, dude. And I couldn't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. Let me be present. I can't thank you enough for being on. Are you coming back, my friend?
How? If you'll have me.
It's locked in. Because there are 24 other topics we got to spin on that wheel. We just had one, the ego, and it was a good one. So you're coming back so we can talk about all those and many more. So Tim, anything else you want to plug, my friend, before we get out of here?
All I want to plug is human positivity.
What about...
You all have inherent value, and everything you don't think you don't have, you do have, because it was built in all of us. Just do whatever you got to do. You are worth it. I love you. Matt loves you.
I do.
We all love each other, even if we don't always express it.
And check out Hale's Tales while you're at it.
Oh, Hale's Tales Productions. Listen to this guy. I try to subvert the ego by not plugging Hale's Tales.
I don't care. You can subvert it. I'll build it up. But yeah, check it out. Where can they find Hale's Tales?
Find Hale's Tales on Facebook, on YouTube. You'll find a number of short films, a number of productions. Yabba dabba da, hoobada boy, Raggy, Rose, Hale's Tales.
All right. Now we're talking Scooby-Doo. We got to get out of here, guys. Thanks for watching and listening. We love you. Stay wise, stay sexy, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.